repeating radio signals from 3 billion light years away, gigantic ice towers on Pluto and Venus, and the Wolf Moon Alliance signaling the end of the world is a world full of mysteries. What's up, YouTube? This is JT from Xans, and today we are going through not one but 3 very interesting topics. Many of you might have heard about at least one of those. So what I am going to talk about today is, as I have already said at the beginning of these videos, repeating radio signals from extraterrestrials and actually extragalactic origins, 500 meters high towers on the surface of the dwarf planet Pluto, and the belief that the end of the world is coming because of the alliance of Venus and the first full moon of the year. So let's go through them one by one, eh? Alright. So there are some radio signals radiating from outer space, and scientists have been baffled over them. These are called fast radio bursts, or for short, from now to the end of these videos, I'll be calling them FRB. These things are high energy astrophysical phenomena of unknown origins, manifest as a radio pulse that lasts only a few milliseconds on average. The first FRB was discovered by Duncan Lorimer in 2007 as he and his student David Nakiewicz were looking through archival parcel survey data. Therefore, you might also know of these phenomena at the Lorimer bus. Ever since the first discoveries, around 30 FRBs have been detected coming from far and deep space. Pinpointing the exact locations of origin is extremely difficult, and most of them were only discovered in data long after the event had already taken place. In August 16, 2017, scientists from the Breakthrough Listens Initiative announced that 15 FRB had been detected during only 5 hours of observation on the same day. The discovery was named the Astronomer's Telegram, and it was noted that the Astronomer's Telegram was the highest frequencies at which FRB had ever been detected. It appeared that whatever produced this series of bursts had been in a heightened state of activities. Oh, by the way, for those who don't know, the Breakthrough Listens Initiative is a project which was launched by Stephen Hawking in order to search for extraterrestrials intelligent life forms. This was not the first time, however, that repeating FRB were discovered. The first time was in 2016, and the repeating of FRB was named FRB 121102. Scientists first thought it had come from somewhere within or at least near the Milky Way, but tracing it led them to a dwarf galaxy 3 billion light years away. This distance is not that remarkable because the furthest FRB ever detected came from a place 17 billion years away. What is incredible about the discovery is that it came from a dwarf galaxy thousands of times smaller than the Milky Way, because FRB are thought to originate from one-off cataclysmic events like a very dense neutron star, which is the core of a dead star which has already undergone a supernova or a black hole. It is not likely that a FRB, a repeated one, would come from a dwarf galaxy. So what I am trying to say here is that maybe this series of FRB came from some sort of intelligent life form outside of the Earth. This extraterrestrial civilizations was not necessarily trying to communicate with us, but with something else, and we just happened to pick up the signals. Mind you, these signals repeated that bring us one step closer to the possibilities that we were meant to be. They were intentional, not something happening once because of an exceptional event. Now, another piece of very interesting news recently released by NASA is that they have discovered gigantic ice towers on the planet of Pluto. And by ice, they do not mean the ice that you put into a glass of juice in the summer days, but ice from methane and hydrogen. So the phenomenon was discovered by the New Horizons spacecraft almost a decade into its journey across the solar system. In 2015, during its historic Pluto flyby, it discovered stunning towers made up of methane and hydrogen ice, standing up to 2,000 feet and 500 meters height. These towers, called penitents, were discovered in the regions of Tartarossa. They are found at a high altitude on Earth, taking a shape of tower or blade or of hardened snow or ice, all angles together in the general direction of the sun. This is the first time this phenomenon has been found anywhere in the solar system other than on Earth. What makes them remarkable is that they are 500 meters high, 100 times higher than their counterpart here on our blue planet. Just to give you a quick comparisons, the penitents on Earth are a bit higher than a one-story building, while the ones on Pluto is almost twice as high as the Eiffel Towers and as high as the Taipei 101 Tower in Taiwan. In fact, because of their enormous size, NASA has no idea what to make of them when it first analyzed their image from the New Horizons. It called them intricate but puzzling patterns of blue-gray ridges and reddish material in between. Only later, when it ran computer modeling of the atmospheric condition on Pluto, did it discover that they were penitents. The discovery of penitents on Pluto shows that an atmosphere is needed for penitents to form. Penitents are formed by erosion, where ice sublimate in very cold conditions, turning into water vapor directly rather than melting into a liquid. Different atmospheric conditions would give rise to very different features and scales under the same erosion phenomenon. And in this case of Pluto's, penitents are 100 times bigger than the Earth-bound version. Pluto's scientists have speculated that penitents may also form on one of Jupiter's moons, Europa, but only now is their existence confirmed on a place other than the Earth. Lastly, let's talk about the end of the world. I mean, this is ex-science and we are interested in doomsday, aren't we? Basically, some religious group predicted that the end of the world would come from Friday the 13th of January 2017. Of course, the day didn't come like most of the world is doom story. The day is pushed back further and further and further and further. Anyway, here's the story. Venus lined up with the wolf moon. Now, for those of you who have never heard of the term wolf moon, it simply is just what people call the first moon in a year. Anyway, back when Venus also came into a brighter spot within 8 years, and some Christian groups believe that these two events foretold the end of the world. The fact that they fall for the first Friday of the 13th of the year pushes this group further to believing that the end is near. Some of them point to the Bible of Luke, chapter 21, verse 25. It reads, "And there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, upon the earth distress of nations, and the perplexity of the sea, and the rolling of the waves." What they said was that the wolf moon and Venus was a sign in the moon and the stars. The perplexities of nations was because of Donald Trump's inaugurations, because, of course, who in the world is better suited for heightening the tension between nations of the world other than Donald Trump, the Donald? But well, it's been almost a year and a half since then, and indeed at some point we did see a perplexity of the nations because of Mr. Trump, but the world moves on. Like I said, the day where we are doomed will just be pushed further and further into the future. Remember all the Planet X and Nibiru hysteria? It was first said to happen in 2003, and then 2012, and then 2013, and who knows? Probably the next week there will be another doomsday prophecies. Well, I'm not a very religious person, not Christians, nor ancient Sumerians. So even if a day comes, let it come. I mean, it's going to happen and we can't do anything about it. Negligence is a blessing. So yeah, I know it's unusual to cover more than one topic in a videos, and there was a lot of information to take in. So here's some recap for you guys. We received radio signals from deep space. Some of the repeatings indicating that it may come from, we are not saying it, but aliens. Then we discovered eye towers 500 meters high on Pluto, and finally, another doomsday theory that was, well, postponed. So do you guys think this video was interesting? I know it might have been a bit of overwhelming with information, but hey, the university is endless. Stay tuned for more and detailed videos about the FRP. Remember, space radio signals will be coming soon. By the way, give us a like and subscribe to our YouTube channels, and we'll see you soon. In the meantime, stay safe and keep looking to the sky. You're watching X Science, and I am JT, signing out.